Well, of course, you know it's Super Bowl Sunday, and that means not only the biggest NFL game of the year, but it's also the biggest night in television advertising. You'll see tonight's best ads again and again with lots of free media that follows the favorites. Some have already been released so that mainstream media and social media can talk about them. But since you'll find those ads everywhere, for our audience, we brought in the best to talk about the all-time best. Simply being funny, touching, or a fan favorite doesn't mean an ad really works when it comes to branding. So here to teach us all about how to be the best, two of the biggest names in advertising in the Washington region, Matt Smith, CEO of Smith Gifford, and Cary Hatch, CEO of MDB Communications. Welcome to you both. So for this show, we gave you a homework assignment. Let's start with Cary. Cary, your pick for the best Super Bowl ad of all time, and it went to
Monster.com.
Let it roll.
When I grow up, I want to file all day.
I want to claw my way up to middle management.
Be replaced on a whim.
I want to have a brown nose.
I want to be a yes man.
Yes woman.
Yes, sir. Coming, sir.
Anything for a raise, sir.
When I grow up,
I want to be underappreciated.
be paid less for doing the same job.
I want to be forced into early retirement.
Great ad, Cary. Why'd you pick it?
I absolutely love it. Many people can relate to this. I think we can all reflect back where we were when we started our career and where we are now. This is an opportunity to bond with Monster.com and to use their service.
I like it for all those same reasons. Matt, you picked another one that I just love, but we can look at it rather than have to listen to it. It's the visuals that we're going to see coming up on the screen that really got people you know, just even watching it today as we were preparing for the show, I started tearing up again. So we'll start showing it now. It's the Clydesdale ad. So many great Clydesdale ads, but this has got to be my favorite. He raises him from a foal and makes him into an official Clydesdale. And by the end of this ad, he sees the horse out on the parade line, and the horse comes to him. It's a beautiful moment. Why do you like this ad?
It could be a movie. It's great. It's entertainment. Which is really why people watch the ads on the Super Bowl, but it tells a complete story, beginning, middle, and end. The whole way the story's told, Fleetwood Mac singing this thing.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Every time it works, and yet it's like a Hallmark card, which who also do great ads, by the way. It works.
But why is it because Clydesdales are so familiar to us? Because this doesn't say beer to me. It just says Clydesdales.
But Clydesdales are beer, and actually what's really brilliant about the branding of this is Clydesdales bring you back to the craft of beer and everything like that. And let's not underplay the brand equity that Budweiser has.
And that's why I think it works. I think we so identify these Clydesdales with Budweiser that it just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy about Budweiser beer, which is not always a feeling I have about beer.
No, and that's
as much as I like it.
Well, and it's not a yuck joke. You know, there's an emotional connection with beer, and it just works. It's great.
It's
Okay.
authentic.
So those are your first two quizzes that we gave you over the week, and we've got more coming up after the break, and coming up more on what you can learn from Super Bowl branding. But first, you're going to see tonight's best ads shown, as we said, again and again in the next 48 hours. So we found an all-time best ad you haven't seen. At least we don't think so. Stay tuned. We've got more coming up. Welcome back. We know you're going to see tonight's best ads shown a million times over. That's one of the reasons buying big on Super Bowl night can be a wise investment. But our executive producer, Tracy Madigan, found an ad that apparently aired last year, but we never saw it, and we think it deserves an all-time best. So take a look.
Man, I can't believe it's finally the week of greatness at Foot Locker.
A whole week of the most premium kicks? Feels like all is right with the world.
I'm sorry, Evander. It's your ear.
So, Mr. Rodman, round trip to North Korea?
One way.
One way? Woo!
Goodbye, old friends.
I okay?
Well, that's great. But a man's got to know when to walk away.
My ear. I kept that in formaldehyde.
One way. He said one way.
He's never coming back! Thanks.
I don't know. Things just feel different.
That ad is so funny, and it's even funnier now given Rodman's latest antics in North Korea. So I don't know why Foot Locker didn't release it sooner, but kudos to Dennis Rodman for being in on the joke. Coming up, more of the all-time best ads, why some work when it comes to branding and others don't. That's next on Washington Business Report. Welcome back with more with Cary Hatch and Matt Smith, two Washington advertising gurus, to talk about what works and what doesn't when it comes to effective advertising and branding. So welcome back to you both. We did give you homework and we asked you to pick your all-time favorite ads and some of the best all-time Super Bowl ads. And Cary, your all-time favorite ad just happens to be Matt's one of your most iconic Super Bowl ads. So we're going to show a little bit about it while we talk about it. And it is Apple 1984. And it was released in 1984, and yet people still point to it as iconic. Why? What's effective about this ad?
It positions Apple as being an innovator, and it contrasts a new brand at that point in time against IBM, which was kind of the staid, tried and true computer company at that point in time.
Let's listen to what they have to say as they wrap up this ad. I like that you have a strong chip there.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Okay, so Matt, why do you like that ad? Why is it iconic?
It leveraged what was going through people's minds. Remember that back in '84 was like the Y2K. People were thinking, oh, it's going to be Orwellian, it's going to be this whole world,
Good
we're all
point.
the same. And actually, that commercial is from, kind of picked up from a movie back in the 20s and 30s. So I love it. It leveraged exactly where people were thinking.
You're a big fan of Apple. Your all-time favorite ad is Apple. Here's to the crazy ones. I love this ad. Let's take a look at a little bit of this ad as they show people who are iconic and try and brand Apple with the people.
Here's to the crazy ones. The rebels, the troublemakers, the ones who see things differently. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
And it gives me goosebumps. I love that ad. I love them much more than 1984.
I do too. I relate to it. It's my favorite ad of all time. Steve Jobs was they were talking about him being the guy that reads that, but they got Richard Dreyfuss.
Now, one innovative ad that's going to be coming up this year that I already hate, I've seen some funny ones that are being pre-released, but the Dober Wawa, mixing the Doberman with the Chihuahua, viewers will have to wait and see it tonight at the Super Bowl. It's supposed to brand Audi as the car that doesn't compromise. It freaks me out, and it doesn't, to me, say Audi, and especially it doesn't say their new luxury car. When do people fail when they brand?
Actually, the Super Bowl's a tough place to brand. I mean, I know it's great to brand, and it's tough. And this is a classic case of an ad
Because you have to be
way off.
so funny that you get their attention?
No, if it's off, it's going to really affect your brand.
Good point.
And
okay.
This one's off.
I have to admit, when I saw your list, I agreed with almost everything you guys sent in. Many, many more examples. We'll post them all on Facebook. I do not like 1984. I think it's creepy. I think it's dark. I want to laugh. I want to cry. So we put together some of my all-time favorites. People will have seen them a million times, but take a look at what I like in a Super Bowl ad.
It's a sweeper. What's
that? Well, we'll find out. It goes under all the way to the back wall. I came in under the assumption that it was clean. I've been living in a fool's paradise.
Oh, boy.
There you go. Morty just summed it up.
Say we see you next week, because by the time we come out, we'll be done.
Taking control like a wolf.
Right.
What's that? That's volatility in the market. Taken care of. Wolf style. Oh, oh, oh.
Mike, come on! Mike, what is your deal, man?
Oh, come on, man. You've been riding me all day.
Mike, you're playing like Betty White out there.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
Big kid.
Thanks, Mean Joe.
You only get a one-word answer. Better to laugh or cry in a Super Bowl ad. Cary Hatch.
Ooh, cry. But I will say Apple sold 155 million units in the first 3 months
On
following
1984.
that.
Okay, you can stick with, you're the genius. Matt, laugh or cry?
Cry at the party. Laugh at the party, cry at the bank.
We hope you're laughing at your party on Super Bowl Sunday, and we thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a great weekend and join us again next Sunday on Washington Business Report.